I want to start by lighting this candle here behind me and invite into the room all the love that's here. I want to make sacred this moment as we remember those we love who have recently passed, those we love who are no longer with us, and offer them a boost of our love and gratitude, and also to give ourselves a balm of music and inspiration and poetry and cherished memories to light our way in the days ahead. So I'm Ben Martin. I'm a life cycle celebrant. I'm here with the Natural Funeral, and it's my honor to be the MC and to be here with you. And I'm so grateful you're here and that you took this time out to be in this soul nourishing time. And tonight we're going to call upon the muses to help us move toward a solstice of light and inspiration as we honor the memory of our loved ones. And this evening's an invocation of presence as we make a safe place for our tender feelings. I know one of you, when you joined, had lost a cat, and we just, any loss like that, we have tender feelings. And we're going to call upon a fortifying wealth of light to rekindle our joy and our best memories. And regretfully, we're not able to meet in person. So in order to kind of overcome that, I invite you to take on the American Sign Language for hug and hug yourself, everybody, and then just look around whatever squares you can see. Oh, that's nice. Some of you can hug each other. I'm jealous, but at least send some hugs out to everyone on this call. So glad you are here. Hug, hug, hug. Wonderful. And at this time, I'd like to ask Karen Van Buren if she will give us a few words of welcome. She's a managing director with the Natural Funeral. So Karen, take it away.
Thank you, Ben. It's really a special evening for me. And last year, you're right, we got to gather in person, and this year it's a little different. But these times call for creativity, and this is such a special event. My personal belief is that we maintain a connection with our loved ones across the threshold, and that connection is really fostered by love. When we can stream our love to them, they receive it. And I believe it goes the other way as well. And through this evening of light, like inner light and love that we are shining forth into the universe, through the candles that you'll see this evening, through the presence and the gifts of the loving souls, some of whom have been our clients in that we have served their loved ones when they have died as a funeral home. I just hope that at the end of our hour together that you really take away an inner warmth and are sustained and fortified by this evening of love and light. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen. We appreciate that. And now I'd like to invite Jane Peterson to offer a few welcoming words. Jane is co-founder of Trailwinds Hospice and a hospice nurse as well. So Jane.
I want to thank the organizers of this special event tonight for holding this space for all of us. It's a very unusual time, this pandemic. And I think it's sad that we can't be together physically. And so what I want everyone to do is to just for a moment visualize and imagine that we are sitting or standing together and that our shoulders or our knees maybe are touching. Just for this 1 hour that we're sitting or standing next to each other. And Let us close our eyes and feel and find strength in that love that surrounds us, that we're all holding for each other. And may we feel that love by holding each other tonight, as virtually as it is, as we remember those that we have loved and still love and have lost. I would like to share a few words from one of my favorite poet and philosophers and artist, Kahlil Gibran, who said, if you behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide unto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. And he said, when you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth, you are weeping for that which has been your delight. I wish all of us here tonight and not here tonight, I wish all of us good health and much happiness. And may we this holiday season and always find joy in small things. Thank you all, and I'm so happy to be with all of you tonight.
Absolutely beautiful. We're so glad you found the unmute button, because we needed to hear that. So that's great. And now it's my pleasure to introduce us to two very fine singers, Talia Spencer and TJ Brown. And they sing with Sound Circle Women's A Cappella Ensemble in Boulder, and have for 25 years. And they dedicated themselves to the healing power of song, and they're going to sing for us and get us started here. So I'll turn it over to BJ and Talia.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is comfort somewhere. There is comfort somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is comfort somewhere. There is more light somewhere. There is more light somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more light somewhere. There is mercy somewhere. There is mercy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is mercy somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. Next one. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows when we will get there, but we know we will. We are going, heaven knows when we are going, but we know we're there. And we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows when we will get there, but we know we will. Oh, yeah, yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Share my screen here. Yes, it was very beautiful. So tonight we want to take a moment to do a time-honored and universal tradition, and that's to light a candle in honor of the light of a loved one and the light they were in our lives, and in memory of them, and to nourish our hearts. So for those of you who do have a candle nearby, I invite you to please light your candle. I'm going to light mine here. And I'm going to offer you this blessing. May this light extend from our hearts, fortify us with a remembrance of the light of our loved one. How grateful we are for our all too brief excursion in this body, in this time we've had together, in this place we have shared, in this love we have come to know. We light a candle this day to nourish the soul's journey, to fortify the days ahead with a great wealth of love, to fortify our days here on earth with a love that does not die. This evening, we especially remember these that we name and place within our circle of light. I'm going to ask everyone if you will hold up your light, and I will offer first this blessing. We are grateful for the unseen connections that weave their way through us, seaming us together into this community of lights. So we honor the life and memory of our loved ones. We pour forth our focus and our heart energy into a flow of love and place it in this circle of lights. And then I have with me this Tibetan bowl, and it's tuned to the note A, which is the traditional tolling note to honor those who have recently passed. And so I'm going to strike the bowl 3 times, and then ask for a moment of silence as everyone holds up the light. So join me in this moment. Thank you, everyone. The amazing thing about a star's light is that it shines long after it has passed. And in much the same way, the light of those we love continues on long after they have passed. It's up to us to take the time to honor and venerate their light, just as we're doing tonight. So blessings on you and blessings on the light of the stars we have known. I want to conclude this candle lighting ceremony with this final reading here for this portion, and invite Carolyn Carpenter and Karen Van Buren from the Natural Funeral to lead us in this
Carolyn Carpenter
reading. And just a little bit about Carolyn. She's blended her careers as an interfaith minister, ceremony celebrant, spiritual counselor, hospice chaplain, nutritional psychotherapist, relationship coach, pet loss counselor, speaker, and seminar leader. And she offers holistic and spiritual programs, guidance, and support for individuals, couples, families, and organizations in various stages of personal health, relationship, and spiritual growth. So I invite you to participate in the all portion, but I want you to remain muted because it just doesn't work on Zoom. So we're just going to hear one voice, and that voice is going to be Karen for us. She's going to be the all we hear, but I hope all will join in as Carolyn leads us in this beautiful reading.
At the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them.
Remember them.
At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter,
We remember them.
at the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring,
We remember them.
at the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer,
We remember them.
at the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn,
We remember them.
go down a little bit on this one. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them.
We remember them.
I can only see the next line. For they are now a part of us.
As we remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength.
We remember them.
When we are lost and sick at heart.
We remember them.
When we have joy and crave to share.
We remember them.
When we have decisions that are difficult to make.
We remember them.
And when we have achievements that are based on theirs.
We remember them.
As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us. as we remember
them.
them.
Beautiful, beautiful reading. Thank you. Rabindranath Tagore, he's an Eastern poet and philosopher. And he said of the butterfly counts moments, not months, and has time enough. So life is about moments, not about how many months you have under your belt, but how many moments you've been able to really inhabit. How precious to take time and rehearse these moments. So I have, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I have here a mala. It's a garland, and it's 108 Rudraksha seeds, and it's from East India tradition. And the story goes, or the myth, that Shiva awoke after 1,000 years of meditation and began to shed tears of compassion. And those tears crystallized into these seeds, and thus there grew the first Rudraksha tree. And so as I read this reading next, I wanted you to hold this image of us kind of metaphorically running our fingers over Shiva's tears and touching upon these seeds of compassion. And it's this is entitled, While You Still Have Time. While you still have time, run your fingers over your mala of moments, where each seed bead touches off a place of remembrance, of the extraordinary, of the remarkable, of the grace-filled. While you still have time, run your fingers over the mala of moments, where each seed bead touches upon a moment of joy, of freshly fallen snows, of aromatic smells of the forest, of the breathless sighs of the sea. While you still have time, run your fingers over the mala of moments, where each seed bead touches upon a moment of delight, of a ridiculous pun or an inside joke, of concocting something savory, a shared moment of reminiscing. While you still have the time, run your fingers over your mala of moment, where each seed bead touches upon a moment of the sacred, of a grief shared, of a spontaneous dance, of the unearthing of an intimate struggle. While you still have the time, run your fingers over your mala of moments. Enumerate at least 108 of them, if not 108 times 108, and bless them with at least 108 thank yous while you still have time. Thank you. So W.R. Inge said that love remembered and consecrated by grief belongs to the eternal world. It has proved itself stronger than death. And so in this ceremony, we are touching on something that is stronger than death as we remember our love and as we consecrate our grief. And a movie that seemed to embody that for me and that I loved was Coco, the Disney animation film. I don't know if you've seen it, but you should make a point to see it. I have 14 grandchildren, so I've had lots of chances to see it. But even if you don't have someone under 12 to join in, it's a beautiful story of a family of reconciliation. And that takes place on the Mexican holiday of the Day of the Dead. And it's about a relationship with a boy and his grandma. And he visits her on that day and learns some secrets that lead to some ahas about the family and bring some people together. But anyway, there's a wonderful Oscar-winning song called Remember Me. And I love the lyrics. And it says, remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, Don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart, and I sing a secret song to you. Each night we are apart. Remember me, and let the love we have live on. If you close your eyes and let the music play, and you will keep our love alive, I will never fade away. So as we bring in our mala of memories and these seed beads that reconnect us to moments that we've inhabited, don't ever let your loved one fade away. These memories are keeping the love alive. And may we continually be blessed by the blessing of these moments and recollect our moments, letting them instantly unlock the pleasure and the love we continue to feel as we remember those we love. We're fortunate tonight to have Ari Van Buren with us, who will be playing a cello suite number 3, movement 4, the Sarabande by Bach. And we will turn it over to Ari. Thank you, Ari. Beautiful. Something about the cello just pulls at the heartstring and gets right in there. So beautiful and beautifully played. Thank you for sharing that with us. Speaking of sharing, I'm going to share my screen here. And I have a reading here. It's called A River of Song. I actually wrote this in honor of my father-in-law when he passed. And I've asked Seth Vidal, who's a managing partner at the Natural Funeral, to join me in the reading of a two-voice poem. And so hopefully you're unmuted, Seth, and I'm going to start this, and here we go. A labored breath gives birth to our death.
Sing through us, Muse, the story of our story.
A river of song catches us in its current.
The love that has sustained us.
It streams us into backwaters of times past.
The friends that have encircled us.
It flows us through times present.
The homes that have nurtured us.
It launches us through waters without time.
The smells that have awakened us.
And just as we grasp our first breath on the way in,
The tastes that have delighted us.
we are caught in the suddenness of our last breath on the way out.
The sights that have moved us to joy.
Uncharted depths, we navigate the mystery of a life.
Sing through us, Muse, the story that was, that is, that will be.
Uncharted heights, we navigate the mystery of a life beyond this life.
The spirit that interweaves us.
How can this be?
How can this be?
For the life we have known, we are grateful.
For the life that continues on, we are grateful.
Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Catania Walker, our inspirational speaker for this evening. She's an accomplished practitioner of Qigong. She has her MDiv from Iliff School of Theology, and she spent many years as a hospice chaplain, providing spiritual care to patients and their families and loved ones. She's known for her ability to convey the essence of the ancient teachings in ways that are fresh, creative, alive, and healing. So please help me silently welcome Catania. Welcome.
Thank you. I want to invite you to imagine with me a child that's drawn to the mysteries, a child who perhaps loves to play in the mystery of light and dark and seeing beyond what the physical eyes can see. Just imagine as if this child has a candle, and either they light it or their loving grown-up lights it for them. And they watch the flame of the candle and then get ready. And this time they're sure they are going to see where the light goes when the light appears to leave the candle. So they get all their little senses ready and they blow. And the light goes out and it appears to disappear, but they somehow in the depths of their being know that it couldn't have completely disappeared. So perhaps they light it again or ask a loving grown-up to light it for them. They get all their senses set. And this time, they're going to see where the light comes from when it seems to appear. And they are going to see where the light goes when it seems to disappear. We know that no drop of water is ever lost in the water cycle. So rain comes down and moisture and mists falls onto the earth, and there's rivers and springs, and maybe even the water goes deep into aquifers. It rises up again someplace else. Eventually, the water makes its way to the sea where it's evaporated up again. So we know that in the whole water cycle, not one drop of water is lost. So it is that in the consciousness cycle, not one drop of consciousness is ever lost. And so it is with light. No light that was ever shown is ever lost. But that coming and going, how it appears to come and it appears to go, that takes us into the mysteries. And when sorrow visits us deeper than we ever thought sorrow could visit us, when it's a sorrow that shakes our bones, that squeezes our bones, that cracks our heart, when it's the sorrow of who for you was the brightest light in the sky, as if that light is gone, it takes us into the mysteries. Perhaps you were never for a moment in your life a student of the mysteries. But for all of us, the moment that we are visited by a sorrow that doesn't even have words, we undergo a kind of initiation. The initiation through the portal of sorrow is not an initiation that we ever seek out. Yet, sooner or later, it visits us. And shallowly or more deeply, it stays with us. Because love's mysteries, love's work, the work of love is ever, ever dedicated to cracking us open so that the medicine can get also deeper than we ever thought. The sorrow perhaps goes deeper than we thought it could. And so we need the size of medicine that's up to that task. And so from within the heart, one of those medicines that light begins to illuminate, it's perhaps a quality of light, a fragrance of the light, is mercy, mercy and kindness. And there's a beautiful poem by Naomi Sahib Nye called Kindness. And I'm not going to read all of it, but just a portion of it. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. In the depths of our initiation of sorrow, we go through that place where nothing makes sense anymore. Perhaps even kindness and mercy don't yet make sense. But the beautiful thing about the heart, the beautiful thing about the eternal calling of the mysteries is it calls us and calls us and calls us and works us and works us and works us until something anew begins. A new light begins to dawn. That place where mercy no longer is a word, or kindness no longer is just a word, It's a frequency. It's a feeling. It's an ointment. It's a medicine. There is a beautiful luminous light within the medicine of mercy. And I wish for each of us gathered here to feel the balm of that mercy, the balm of that medicine that can go, I promise you, it can go as deep as the sorrow has gone. If it doesn't seem like that's happened yet, the eternal pull of love will not stop until it's happened. What if all cells and atoms and molecules are creations of light? What if, even though the light appears to come and go, what if it's never lost? What if in our remembrance, it is in a way light remembering light? What if when you're remembering, and we each are remembering our loved ones and the sound of their voice or the way they took their tea or the chair that they sat in, when we remember a gift from them, a moment, a tender moment, even a difficult moment, remembrance itself. What if in the remembrance, it's light remembering light? When the light of eternal mercy wakes up in us, then only mercy makes sense. When we've been visited by a sorrow deeper than we ever thought could go, only kindness makes sense. The deeper the mysteries call us, the more and more the medicine of mercy and the light within mercy begins to light our eyes, begins to light the sound of our voice, begins to light our heart. What if every candle that you saw, the light from that candle, the light from the moon, the light from the sun, what if every light that you saw was the sweet remembrance of mercy whispering to you that somehow all is well, that somehow you are lit by a light that can never go out, that somehow your cherished loved ones are also lit by a light that can never go out, that the mystery itself is lit by a light that we don't see with our eyes, but is ever lighting the way and ever calling us deeper. So in the spirit of mercy, in the spirit of blessing, may your tears be blessed with light. May your light be blessed with light. May your joy be blessed with light. May your memories be blessed with light. May all that you have loved and counted and cherished be blessed with light. May all that that has seemed to disappear be blessed with light. May you know the medicine of mercy, the tenderness of the light in mercy as the deepest thing inside. And with the eyes of the heart opened, may you then see the size of the cloth and see that it is luminous, that it is ever living, that it is ever weaving, that it is ever becoming more, and that you indeed are blessed to be here, to have loved, to have been light, to have been known as light, and that your remembrance is light remembering itself.
Wow. Thank you, Catania. Awesome. Light-filled, light-hearted message. Beautiful, and recognizing that we've all been initiated in some ways, and what great mysteries swim around us, and what beautiful light. is there. What a great mystery it is. Thank you. So from here, for these inspirational words, we want to transition to some inspirational music, and Talia and BJ are going to return and bring some songs of solace, our song of solace for us. So Talia and BJ.
Humma, 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 ya. Humma, humma, ya. Humma, 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 ya. Humma, hey, ya, oh, hey, ya. Hey, hey, ya. Hey, ya, hey, ya. Ya. Humma, hey, ya, oh, hey, ya. Humma, 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 ya. Humma, humma, ya. Humma, 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 ya. Humma, hey, ya, oh, hey, ya. Hey, ya. Hey, ya, hey, ya. Ya. Humma, hey, ya, oh, hey, ya. Like a ship in my heart, like a mother and child, like a light in the darkness. I'll hold you high. We'll rock on the water. I'll cradle you deep and hold you while angels sing you to sleep. Humma, humma, ya. Humma, humma, ya. Humma, 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 ya. Humma, ya, ya. Hey, ya. Hey, ya. Hey, ya. Humma, hey, ya, ya. Humma, 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 ya. Humma, humma, ya. Humma, 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 ya. Humma, hey, ya, oh, hey, ya.
Mm. Oh, marvelous. So appreciate that. It was beautiful, and love the two songs going threaded together. It's gorgeous, and great great salve for the heart. Thank you. We're going to move into a series of poems on the dance. They'll be interwoven here in a minute. And I actually wrote this in honor of a dear friend who passed, who was a man of science and a man of spirit, but who loved the dance. And Seth is going to help me with this series. And so I hope you are unmuted, Seth, and take it from here.
From the inception, always the dance. Unto the completion, always the dance. Inasmuch As we have loved you, we have danced with you. Inasmuch as we remember you, we continue to dance with you unbroken. From what you have created, always the dance. To what you gave, always the dance. The dance, the life we experienced through you, now dances through us. We celebrate your coming in, always the dance. We celebrate your letting go, always the dance.
Thank you, Seth. Beautiful. Um, I have a little, I guess, ritual that I wanted to bring to the ceremony tonight, and it involves a cairn. And from prehistoric times, there's been places all over the world where people have used mounds of stone and stacked them and used them as burial markers or as trail markers. And we know them as cairns. And sometimes they're quite complex and delicately balanced sculptures, and sometimes they're megalithic feats of engineering. And the Japanese tradition of stone stacking is considered to be a form of prayer, and with the tiered stones serving as burial markers, but they're sometimes used as trail markers, as particularly towards sacred sites or sacred places. Then in the Scottish Highlands, there's a tradition of carrying a stone from the bottom of the valley to and placing it on top of the cairn each time you visit a burial place. So cairns kind of serve as a symbol of remembrance, and they mark places of significance. They serve as aids along the path. So tonight, these 7 stones here, encircled by evergreen sprigs, is here to serve as an aid along our path. There's an ancient Scottish blessing that says, "I will put a stone on your cairn." You all know too well that the journey after losing a loved one is, to borrow from the Beatles, a long and winding road. And so they're important to have cairns, whether they're physical or virtual, of marking moments along this long and winding path. Milestones for the 40th day or the 49th day marker after the death, the anniversary date of the death, the birthday, and many other significant days that are worth taking time to note, to build cairns, and to mark the path and remember. And as we move through the holidays, especially this time of year, can render a lot of tender feelings, and can be a time when we feel the absence of our loved ones most deeply. So tonight I want to bless our cairn, and I ask you to allow yourself to mark this place, this evening, this gathering, coming together to remember. That may this cairn mark the significance of this evening. And every time you return to the image of these stacked stones in your mind, may you may the light from this evening continue to nourish and fortify your spirit. Catania, I love your images of light and how it's still there and how it infills us and can serve us. So this cairn is placed in a pottery base, and it's filled with rich earth that is encircled with evergreen sprigs. And these are symbols of the eternal. And as I said already, we're touching on the eternal tonight as we consecrate our love and our grief. And I want to bless these stones from the rich earth and pour this cleansing water over our cairn. And I want to bring into view warm it with the fire of light. And then in honor of the breath that sustains the memory of our loved one in our thoughts, we bless this light from our hearts, Cairn. So in honor of the body of earth that contains us, in honor of the tears that connect us, in honor of the transformative power inherent in the fire, and in honor of the breath that sustains the memory of our loved one, we bless this, the light from our hearts, Cairn. We have experienced firsthand how short our stay really is on this earth, but how everlasting our love truly is. We bless this moment with our love as we look back at the long and winding road, and we bless the moments ahead as we befriend our grief, as we find ways to make our moments sacred and to allow these moments to bring us ever closer to those we love. May we be granted many more moments as we find our way through this great mystery of life, as we grapple with this great mystery of death. And so I want to, maybe I'll put this down so I can maneuver. And so want to continue the poems about dance. Here's the Beyond the Dance. Retrieved from the deep and cradled in the womb, we are formed uniquely human, and then through the canal, from the cut cord in our first cry, we learn to walk uprightly, so much forgotten if ever known, so much unknown if ever knowable, and yet where we have walked, where we have loved, the imprints of our soul, so short our stay, so glorious the dance. We celebrate the life now left behind and pray safe passage for its life beyond, for its return, for its reunion beyond the dance. We are fortunate tonight to have with us Kathleen Starr. She'll be playing the exquisite Nocturne by Tchaikovsky. And she's been playing and teaching cello for many years. She believes that music is a bridge between heaven and earth and can bring us joy, peace, and healing. Couldn't agree more. So, Kathleen. Thank you. Ah, beautiful. Thank you. Rich, very rich. I'm going to ask Seth again to join with me in the final joining of the two palms, always the dance, beyond the dance. Retrieved from the deep
From the inception,
and cradled in the womb,
always the dance.
we are formed uniquely human,
Unto the completion,
then through the canal,
always the dance.
from the cut cord in our first cry,
Inasmuch as we have loved you,
we learn to walk uprightly.
we have danced with you,
So much forgotten, if ever known,
inasmuch as we remember you,
so much unknown, if ever knowable.
we continue to dance with you unbroken.
And yet,
From what you have created,
where we have walked,
always the dance.
where we have loved,
To what you gave,
the imprints of our soul,
always the dance.
so short our stay,
The dance.
so glorious the dance.
The life we experienced through you,
We celebrate the life now left behind
now dances through us,
and ask safe passage for its life beyond,
we celebrate your coming in,
for its return,
always the dance.
for its reunion,
We celebrate your letting go,
beyond the dance.
always the dance.
Thank you, Seth. Blessings to you each. I hope that your heart was warmed with this evening with our remembrances, our music, our poetry, our inspiration. And now as we extinguish our lights, may you move the light from this sacred setting into the sacred space of your heart and keep your loved one alive by keeping the love alive. Blessings. So I invite you to blow your candles out. May you continue to experience the blessing of your loved one's spirit. May you go in love with those around you, and may they be of strength to you in the days ahead. So I thank you. This concludes our ceremony, or almost concludes. We're fortunate to be able to call up PJ and Talia again to finish us with one final song, and that will be our evening. So what better way to end than with PJ and Talia?
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Ah, thank you guys. Beautiful. So blessings on everyone here. May your heart be filled with light and love. It's a tough journey we're all on. It's hard to, but how graced we've been with some amazing people in our lives and amazing evenings. So thank you one and all.